Mr. Porcari, I have to ask all of you to answer a question. This is my ranking member question. The committee and our members have long enjoyed a close and productive working relationship with agencies under our jurisdiction. We rely on the legal and technical expertise of the agency staff when we are drafting legislation. I would ask each of you to answer if you and your staffs will respond to every member of the committee on both sides of the aisle for this kind of help as we are doing our job of oversight and drafting. Mr. Babbitt?
Absolutely, Senator.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Senator. I think it's a critical part of each of our jobs.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Mr. Porcari, Secretary LaHood recently announced that he was moving forward with the antitrust immunity of 2 airline applications to the department for alliances. The Continental Star Alliance and the American Airlines British Airways application are very important for the competitive landscape in America. And I would ask you if you will commit to moving expeditiously in this process for those applications to be considered. I'm not asking you for the final conclusion, but just that the department know that time is very important in these decisions, and I fear another merger mania if we don't have these kinds of opportunities for competitive alliances that would put off the need for mergers. So my question is really, will you move forward expeditiously in the process so that a final decision can be made in a timely manner?
Yes, Senator. I understand that expeditiously considering the antitrust immunity request is important. I would point out on a personal note, at BWI Thurgood Marshall Airport, the One World Alliance antitrust immunity application is an important part of that strategy, and I should note for the committee that I am a party of record in favor of that.
Thank you. That's very good. I really believe that our airlines are trying to stay independent, and these alliances foster that goal, and I think it's in the traveling public's best interest that they remain so. So I thank you for that. Mr. Babbitt, next-gen implementation is, I hope, your highest priority. We have been working on this issue for a long time, and I would ask you how you are going to proceed on that, and particularly to assure that all of the people in aviation, both the consumers as well as the airline and aviation community, want to see how this will benefit them, and how do you consider your responsibility to proceed?
Well, first, of course, I know we all accept that safety will be my #1 priority, but in terms of getting next generation, that is one of the highest priorities before us, the FAA and myself personally. What I would like to do, and I have the advantage of currently, there is an industry-wide task force under the umbrella of the RTCA that is looking at what do the users actually want? What technology do they have on board their aircraft? What technology exists at airports that will allow us to begin to implement a lot of the key functions of the next generation of air navigation and aircraft separation? This is not needed new technology. We don't need a Manhattan project to move forward. We have a carrier right now in Louisville that has a wonderful program going where they guide over 100 aircraft every night using the next-gen technology with technology we have today. And they make continuous descent approaches, meaning they're saving 400 to 500 pounds of fuel with every arrival. The noise footprint that they lay down over the city of Louisville is much smaller than it existed before. We have this technology. So we need to find where we can deploy it and deploy it efficiently. Obviously, I'm going to be able to turn to some very helpful people here with the team that the President has assembled. And we can do this strategically. And what I mean by strategic implementation, there are places where we will gain the biggest advantage in terms of reducing delays rather than doing things on a linear basis.
Thank you. Mr. Strickling, I want to hear from you that DTV transition is your highest priority. As you know, this committee agreed after much discussion and much dissension among all of the interest groups to delay the DTV transition. But a lot of people have had to make added investments, and it has been a hardship in many ways. But we felt that there were not enough people aware of the transition who would all of a sudden lose any kind of television reception. So my question is it your highest priority, and what are your plans to move forward?
Yes, Senator. If confirmed, it absolutely will be our highest priority. As you know, the transition will take place in a little more than 3 weeks. The good news is that since the extension from February, over 3 million households have now become ready for the transition that would not have been ready back in February. So I think the committee in the Senate and the Congress should take comfort in the fact that the extension has well served the American public. Between now and June the 12th, we are the NTIA is very closely monitoring the situation. As you know, with the coupon program, there were concerns in February about a backlog and about the availability of funds to pay for the coupons that needed to be issued at that time. Today, as I understand it, there is no backlog. NTIA believes there are adequate funds available to provide coupons to the estimated number of unready households. And while it would not be surprising to see some upsurge in requests for coupons as we approach June the 12th, everything would indicate that at most it will mean a few days delay in people getting coupons if in fact the daily processing capabilities of the system are taxed. And today they are not. Today the system is processing fewer coupons than it has capacity to process. So all signs look to be promising for a smooth transition on the 12th in terms of the coupon program. But we, in NTIA and I, if I'm confirmed, will certainly pay very close attention to that over the next several weeks.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, it is my understanding that the chairman of the committee would like to consider these nominations tomorrow at our executive session. And we have notified all of the Republicans and no one objects. But I have questions for the record, and I would like to ask that for you to go forward, any written questions to you that you will get today need to be back in by 6 o'clock today for us to be able to have the full information for that consideration. So we will notify all of the members of that, but I will agree to that expeditious voting on each of you if you will agree to spend the rest of your day answering questions.
Is there any objection from the five? No objection.
We'll go sharpen our pencils.
They will be available.
Keyboards.
They will be available, Senator Hutchison.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.